Hi guys! So I got a lot of feedback yesterday about doing more makeup tutorials, so I wanted to post a quick makeup video about how I get ready for work. So yeah, I just woke up and I usually feel a little puffy in the morning, so I usually use my Jade Roller. I don't really know if it does anything, but I feel like it does. It just helps get rid of like puffiness and things like that. It just feels good, it's cool, so it just kind of makes me feel like it helps with the puffiness around my eyes. I usually just do it around my eyes here and then like on my cheeks. So yeah, I usually start with that right before I start putting my makeup on. And then I use my Smooth Affair by Jane Iredale. I really like this product. I've been using this since Blonde Faith opened, like 5 years ago. And I use kind of a lot, I think, but so it's a primer and it smells so good. It smells like oranges or something, so it's really uplifting in the mornings before I put my makeup on. And it just helps with brightness and smooths out my makeup. So yeah, I usually put that all over before I start putting my makeup on. And then I start with my eyes, just because I don't like when I do my foundation and then put my eye makeup on and it gets all over like down here, and then I have to mess with that. So yeah, I started doing my eyes first, and I feel like that really helps because then I can clean up any like makeup residue that falls from my eyeshadow. And I'm using just the basic Naked palette today. I have all of them, but I wanted to use this one today because I'm wearing a black shirt, so I wanted to do like more of a smoky eye. So I'm using that, and I have a ton of makeup brushes that I use, so I'm just gonna use this one. I don't know what it is, it's like broken, but yeah, so it's just a flat brush, that's why I'm using this one. I'm starting just doing like a light color around my brow and my shadow. So I'm using the lightest color in the Naked palette. It's called Virgin. So I'm using the Virgin and I'm just putting it just on my brow and my lid. I'm just doing this like light color here just to help give it a little bit of brightness. And I usually just put it like right around the brow bone here, and definitely like in the corners of my eyes. I like to put this on before I put any other shadow on, just to help give it a little bit of like brightness and something to stick to. And you can see how it's like highlighting around my brow bone there, which I like. So yeah, I'm gonna do like kind of a smoky eye, not one that I would wear like going out or anything, since I'm getting ready for work and I don't have a whole lot of time. But yeah, I'm gonna use the same brush, and I'm using Sidecar, which is this one right here. And I'm gonna put that one just on my lid, and then I'll go around in the crease and do a darker color. I like this color because it has a little bit of shimmer to it, and it just gives it a little bit of contrast between what's gonna go in my crease. I got that on, and this is just like a quick makeup tutorial since I'm getting ready for work today. I'll definitely do one that's like before we go out or something, because I could spend like an hour putting my makeup on or even more. So next I'm using this Jane Iredale brush. I really like this brush from Jane. It's similar to the other one that I was using, but it's just a little bit smaller. So I'm using that in my crease area. And then I'm gonna use Dark Horse. Okay, so I'm using the Dark Horse and just that small makeup brush. And I'm just going in like right here at my crease. And I'm kind of just making like side to side motions with it, and then I go in and kind of use circular motions to help blend it. And I like to look in the mirror, but also I have like a big mirror in front of me that I look in too, since that's what it looks like further away, I feel like that kind of gives me like a better idea of how it's blending. So yeah, I get that on, and then I like to put it kind of in this area too, just on the corner there, just so it's not only in the crease area. And it always looks kind of weird, like right now it's not totally blended, kind of looks like I have a black eye, so that's okay though. I'm gonna go back and fix that in a minute. I just like to get the product on first, and then I'll go in and blend it with a different brush. So this is basically just creating that like smokier crease. I like how that's looking, and usually I'll look in the mirror in front of me to make sure that it looks as even as it can on both sides. So then I go in kind of just with my finger at first and help blend that. I feel like my finger always helps blend it better than anything else does. So yeah, I like how that's looking. It's just like a little bit of a smoky eye. And then I'm gonna use this from one of my Naked palettes. I think it's from the Naked 2, but I like how this brush is kind of frayed at the top. And I'm gonna use that to blend. I'm not putting any makeup on this yet, so I'm just using this to kind of blend and soften that line in the crease. Alright, so you can see how it kind of just softened it, and there's just a little bit of a shadow. I don't want it to be too smoky. So that part is done, and now I'm using my Tartlette. I like this palette a lot. It's just kind of matte colors. I use a lot of them, but I use this one pretty much every day. It's called Super Mom, and I like it because it's just a light color. So I like to put this on my brow after I'm done with doing the rest of my shadow, and it helps just kind of brighten it up around there. And I'll take a little bit and put it in my crease area too. And then I'm kind of just going over everything and just helping blend it. I'm gonna use my finger again on the side here to help with that. Yeah, it's pretty easy. I'm pretty much done with that. If I was doing this on a different day, I'd probably do a lot more and a lot longer, more like going out makeup, but when I'm getting ready for work, I want it to be quick. So next I'm doing this brush. I've had this forever. I don't know what the brand is, but I like it because it has this pencil type end on it. And I'm just using just a dark brown from my Naked palette. And I'm just gonna put that right under my eyes here. Yeah, it just helps give it a little bit more color. So I'm pretty much done with my eyes today. So I'm gonna go into my powder now. So I love this stick that I got from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. It is the color Ivory. And honestly, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with it, but I've just been putting it like on the sides of my cheeks here before I put my foundation on. And I just like the coverage that it gives me. So I'm putting that on, and then I'm using my Jade Iredale brush. I really like this brush a lot for foundation. I use this for the stick and then also for my liquid foundation that I use. So I'm just kind of taking it and blending it. Okay, so I got that on, and also sorry about all my sniffles. I always have allergies in the mornings, and I've been doing my makeup videos in the mornings, so I sound all stuffy. But yeah, so now I'm using my, I don't know how to say her name, Mercier. I think that's right, I don't know. But I love this foundation. It's just a flawless ultra longwear foundation from her line, and I'm using the color Cashew. And I'm still using that same brush. And I'm putting this just all over. And then I'll just go in and blend it. I feel like this gives me like, it's pretty much full coverage foundation. But I just like the way that it looks. It's not like noticeable at all. I feel like it blends really well. And I'm just kind of bringing it into my neck here too. And I feel like it helps kind of give a glow as well. So I make sure, that's why I like this brush too, because I feel like I can really get in this area of my eyes and like around my nose and everything. I do feel like this is one of those foundations that if you don't blend it well, you can see where it's not blended at. So using a good brush is definitely really important for that. So I got all of that on. After that, I'm putting on my powder foundation. It's by the same person. And I'm using, what color is this? 2W? I think it's a pretty light color. And I'm just going in to blend this now with the rest of it. I don't really ever feel like I need too much of the powder since the liquid foundation is pretty heavy. And it definitely lasts me all day too. I mean, when I come home from work, I feel like, I mean, a little bit has come off, which is normal, but for the most part, it lasts pretty well. So I got all of that on. And then I'm gonna use my concealer. Also, this is by Laura too. And I'm just putting this all over in my eye area. I go pretty far out with it. I really like this concealer a lot. And I'm just putting a little bit down my nose. And then I'm using my beauty blender. I probably need to clean this, but it's okay. And I don't like to blend this in too much because I like it to look brighter underneath my eyes. So I'm just lightly tapping it under there. I feel like if you blend it in too much, it like gets rid of the purpose of it. So I like to just lightly dab under the eyes. And then the same thing up my nose here. And then after that, I'm using my Jane Iredale bronzer. I've had this since Blonde Faith opened. It's like 5 years old. But I'm using this brush now. It's from e.l.f. It's just a big brush for bronzer and blush. So I'm just putting this on my cheekbones. And I kind of like to make that face so that I see like where my cheekbone lays at. And then I just take what's left over and blend it with the rest of my face. So I'm still using that same brush. And I'm just putting my blush on now. And I like to just put it like right at the apples of my cheeks. This is from Rae Cosmetics. And I do the same thing, just kind of take what's left over from that. And then I love this glow palette from Tarte. I don't know, I use like just, this is what it looks like, but I use really just this top one right here. I haven't used any of the other colors, but I just really like this. I don't know where I got this palette from, but I really like it a lot. So you can see, this is what I'm using for my highlight. So it just gives it a lot of glow. And I'm just still using that same brush. And then I take it down my nose too, just to help give that some, I put this pretty much all over my face. But definitely on the cheekbones for sure. So you can see that glow that it gives it. And I feel like it's a really natural glow too. It's not like too much, and it's really easy to use just as a powder. Alright, so yeah, I'm pretty much done with everything other than my brows and my lashes. So for my brows, honestly, I am like not the best at my brows. I feel like I struggle with that probably the most, which I feel like everybody does. But basically, I'm just using this thing. I don't know what this is called, but I'm just gonna help brush them. So I'm just getting them into place. I had microblading done a couple years ago, so I feel like that kind of helps. It puts it in like the right area already for me. And I'm just using like a pencil shaped brush because I feel like that helps kind of draw them on. For the brows, one thing that I do is kind of like I was doing with my shadow. Like I get the product on and then I look in the big mirror that's in front of me, not my little vanity mirror. Because I feel like in the vanity mirror, I can get too specific with it and go a little crazy with my brows. So when I look in the big mirror that's in... Okay, so I did this whole underneath part. I pretty much just did like a line like that. And then I already kind of like how this looks. Usually I just do that one line and then I use like what's left over from the product to just kind of feather it up like this. And then I just take a little bit of, oh, I didn't even tell you guys what I'm using. I'm using this Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel, and I love this. I've seriously had this forever, and I mean, I have so much of it left still. I'm just using the medium brown. So yeah, I like how my brows are looking right now. I'm just looking in the big mirror in front of me here, just to help kind of blend them a little bit, but yeah, I like how that looks. The hardest part is doing the other side. And I just do pretty much the same thing, but for some reason, I know they're not supposed to match, but I like them to match. So I try my best to make them perfect and look equal, but it's hard. So I'm just using my big mirror here. This is also the first makeup tutorial I've ever done, so yeah, it's kind of hard to do both and look in my mirror and my camera and my little mirror and put my brows on point, but I feel like it's pretty good. I always feel like one looks a little darker than the other, so I always make sure that doesn't happen. So yeah, I feel like that looks pretty good. I can be so OCD about it because I like them to look the same, and they never do. But yeah, so that looks pretty good to me. I'm just gonna leave that before I make them look too crazy. And then I'm just using my Anastasia Brow Gel just to help comb them into place. I feel like this product's pretty strong, and I've definitely used way too much of it before. So I just use a very little bit just to help kind of comb them into the right place. And I always bring my my brow gel onto the corner here so it's in line with my eye. You don't want it too short, but you also don't want it to be too long. And now I'm just using I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is my favorite mascara, always. I have used this, not forever, but for a long time, and I just cannot find anything else that works the same. And let me show you guys really quick. I have 4 in here for some reason, and the one that I'm using. I don't know why. I need to get rid of them because I like the way that they feel like after I've used them. They're good for like dispersing the mascara, so there's not a lot of product on it, because I feel like mascara can have a lot on here. And then I just like to use one that's like almost empty so that I can piece apart the lashes if I need to. So yeah, I'm just putting that on just like you would mascara. And I like to like kind of let it sit because I feel like it's a little bit wet at first. So I put it all over on both eyes, and then I let it sit for just a couple seconds, and then I go in and finish it. So I feel like it could get kind of clumpy, so I like to let it dry just for a couple minutes. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty much done with my makeup. I'm gonna do my lips still too before I leave, but I always like to do it right before I walk out the door so that it doesn't get rubbed off when I'm like drinking coffee and stuff in the mornings. But yeah, pretty much everything is done. It's just a really simple, quick smoky eye. I mean, I started this at 8:45, I think, so it shouldn't be really too long. I mean, I was talking and stuff, so really I could probably do this in like 20 minutes in the morning. So yeah, I'm just going back over it again. I just really like this mascara. I mean, there's so many different types of mascara out there that are good, but this one's my favorite. So yeah, I'm pretty much done with everything now. So now I'll do my hair and get ready for work. I still haven't washed it since I got my extensions, so yeah, I'm gonna do that, and this is what my eyes look like. Just really easy and simple and just really quick. I forgot to tell you guys too, I use this Cover FX setting spray when I'm done. I really like this setting spray a lot. It gives it a little bit of a glow, and it also just helps set your makeup. So I just spray this all over. I probably use way too much. I don't know why I spray it so much, but yeah, so that's it. I will show you guys the after whenever I'm done with my hair. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys what my makeup looks like and everything. I just finished my hair. It was really easy to do because it was their extension, so I really didn't even curl it today. This is kind of just left over. But yeah, this is my makeup. I just put a little bit of a lip on. It's Anastasia as well. I really like her products a lot. I use like the brow, the lip color, and a couple other products from her. But yeah, it's really easy. I mean, you could definitely do this in like 20 minutes for sure, and then you're on your way to work. I also just want to say that if you watched that whole tutorial, thank you, because I know that was really long, and hopefully I'll get faster at it. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying out the Insta story highlights for now, and then I'll probably start putting things on YouTube a little bit more. But yeah, if you watched the whole thing, awesome, thank you.